How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Aaron Loves Wrestling Podcast, and I'm your host, Aaron. In this episode, we're going to talk about the recent news that just came out today. Scott D'Amore has been fired from TNA Wrestling. We're going to talk a little bit about the Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar allegations, some updates on that, and it includes the WWE 2K game. And then we're going to talk about the big one, The Rock versus Cody versus Roman controversy going on for the main event at WrestleMania for the WWE title. First off, we'll start off with Scott D'Amore. He has been fired from TNA Wrestling. He is no longer employed by TNA Wrestling. He is unemployed. TNA has fired Scott D'Amore as of today, and he has been replaced. And when shared on social media, on X and Instagram, they took the comments off. You can't comment on it, which I find ridiculous. Why you're not going to let the fans even voice their opinion? Let them voice their opinion, which you know it's going to be a lot of backlash because everybody loves Scott D'Amore. He brought back the TNA banner. He brought back the TNA titles and across the line a theme for TNA, all those things. He got rid of the Impact name, the Impact banner, the Impact titles, everything with Impact, and he brought back TNA, and the fans have loved it. And we shall see if it remains TNA or it goes back to Impact. I hope it does not go back to Impact. If it does, I'm going to be done watching TNA. I'm going to be done. Even though I like Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler, and a few other talent over there, I can't. I was glad the TNA came back. I was glad the new titles. I was glad with the new titles. They look great, and Scott D'Amore was great, and I hate this for him. The reason being, we don't know yet. We may find out. There might be no reason at all. They just fired him and want to go a different direction. That could be the whole thing, which if so, that's going to be their mistake. And then we shall see if Scott D'Amore lands a job in either AEW or WWE here in the future. Either one. Possibly WWE, more of AEW, because he's worked in both. He's worked with AEW and WWE. But we shall see. I think Triple H really likes him. So we shall see if Triple H is interested in hiring, bringing him on board, and making him a backstage producer at some point or on-screen role. But time will tell. And we're also going to, but again, Scott D'Amore fired TNA Wrestling. Sad to see. Hate to see it. Hope Scott gets a job somewhere because I would like to see him back on wrestling. Or he might even get a job in NWA. Maybe he'll go there. NWA Power. They aired on CW. I haven't watched it yet, but I want to watch it here shortly. He might even land a job there. Who knows? Might even take them places. We'll see. Moving on to other news. Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar. And why do I bring up Brock Lesnar? Because Brock Lesnar is supposedly involved in the lawsuit. In one of the documents, it mentions a UFC and WWE heavyweight champion as part of the person that was sent videos and pictures to. I'm not sure if Brock had any involvement in the criminal aspects, such as sex trafficking or the supposed rape that went on, but he did get sent pictures and videos of this woman, and it's heartbreaking to see. I can't stand stuff like this that happens. Right now, it's getting sued civilly, but we shall see if this goes to trial and he gets criminally charged. The same with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has been removed from the cover of WrestleMania 40, or 40 years of WrestleMania. He is no longer on the cover. He's been replaced by John Cena, and they delayed the gameplay trailer to take out Brock Lesnar, and then eventually there has been reports that Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar will be completely removed from the game entirely. You can't even play them as characters anymore. So that's going to be pretty big. Brock Lesnar not in the WWE video game. And even Vince McMahon. I mean, both of them. But I hate what they did. It's Even though I was a Brock fan, I'm not now. Don't care for Brock anymore, and I never really was a Vince McMahon fan myself anyway from the get-go. So we'll see how this goes further with the lawsuit. And The Rock has replaced Vince McMahon on the board of directors. He has the power that Vince McMahon had, which means he has a little bit more pull than Triple H. And this is the whole reason of the Rock, Roman, and Cody controversy. So if you watch Friday Night SmackDown, you've seen The Rock return. Cody was talking to Roman, and talking to Roman, and Cody said that he's going to take everything from Roman, but it's not going to be at WrestleMania. And when he said that, at first it didn't click. I was thinking, wait, what? What does that mean? And then all of a sudden, he said he spoke to a counselor and somebody you know very well, and then The Rock's music hit. And I was excited. I'm a huge Rock fan. Love his workout gear. I love watching his workout videos, getting tips and advice on workouts in the gym. His movies, a big Rock fan within WWE. Rock's great, in my opinion. And now he's on the board of directors of TKO and WWE. And a lot of people saying, oh, he tried to take over football with the XFL and it failed. Okay, but he didn't try to take over football. He created a alternative XFL league in the spring for guys that did not get drafted or signed by an NFL team, to give them a chance not only to make money to do what they love to do and play football, but also he signed a deal with the NFL. I'm sorry, but if you're trying to take over something, you're not going to sign a deal with the league itself. And he signed the league with deal with the NFL for these players to move on into the training camps in the NFL with a selective team, whoever signs them. And we've seen that. We've seen some of these players come out of the USFL and XFL and are now on the rosters of NFL teams. We've seen it with many of them. One of them is the Dallas Cowboy kicker, the guy who missed only one field goal, which I hated that he missed one. But he was perfect all year long. Then you have also the Cowboys punt returner, Turpin is his name. He came from the USFL. And there's many more XFL and USFL talent on the NFL rosters. And then now with the merger, USFL merged with XFL. Was it the other way around? If you watch the USFL and XFL games, XFL about near sold out all their tickets in each stadium that a team is playing in. The Brahmas, my favorite team. You got them. They sold out in San Antonio. St. Louis sold out. The most in the XFL. 38,000 fans showing up to watch the XFL football game in St. Louis. You got the DC Defenders. They were selling out over there. The XFL teams were selling out. USFL, you had pretty much nobody in the crowd. And if you did, it was maybe 30, 40, 50 people. The only ones that really, the only one team that had people show up was the Birmingham Stallions in Alabama. That's because Alabama and they love football. Anything regarding football, Alabama people are going to show up. They had fans show up to the Michigan Panthers when they played at Ford Field. They had fans show up then, but it wasn't like the XFL. USFL was also hurting in the ratings and viewing with viewers. Not only because we're really competing with the XFL, but also college basketball and the NBA. And then eventually Major League Baseball. So you got all these and the XFL is competing against them too, but they're still getting a lot more viewers than USFL. But now they merged, and it's great. Under the United Football League, I'm excited to watch it. Can't wait for the game one. It's going to be great. Renegades versus Stallions, XFL champions versus USFL champions. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for this league. excited to not only get to see more football, but get to see these guys get a shot and a chance. And you can also, if you'd like to, and you still think you got it, go and try out. You can go sign up and try out on something you can't do in the NFL. So it's the XFL and UFL that The Rock has created is great. He didn't try to take over football. And then moving on to the whole DC comic thing with Black Adam, he didn't try to take over that either. He played the character Black Adam, and he brought back Henry Cavill as Superman, my favorite Superman of the modern times. And he was going to eventually do Batman vs Superman, but DC wanted to do it. They didn't want Henry Cavill because they were still bitter and butthurt that he left to go do The Witcher because he was also tired of sitting around not being able to do nothing because Superman, probably had no plans or nothing. He was just sitting at home getting paid. And then the whole Witcher came up, and he went to go do that, and DC was butthurt and offended, and so they released him. And then they was going to move on to find a new Superman, but then The Rock worked out where he could get Henry back as Superman, and he did. And if you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert, skip past this if you want to, the next 5 seconds. Henry comes back at the end of the movie as Superman to confront Black Adam, and it pretty much kind of sets up Black Adam versus Superman, but we'll never see it because DC first got rid of Henry, and then when The Rock got upset and he made a big deal, he left and did not continue on with DC Comics. He didn't try to take over DC. He was just trying to do this movie and then the one with Superman, and who knows if he'd kept going or been done. There's so many fans that hate on The Rock, but you can't deny his success. A lot of people hate on greatness, is the great old saying. That's why a lot of people hate on the New England Patriots for so many years. That's why a lot of people hate on the Chiefs right now. So many people hate on Alabama football for so many years. And they still do. Now with Nick Saban gone, we'll see if they still will. But they hate on Alabama football. Then everyone hated on the Houston Astros. I'm a Rangers fan, hate the Astros with the passion. But that's because they're my rival team. A lot of people just hate them because they wanted to hate them. Everyone hates on the Dallas Cowboys. For whatever reason, they hate on the Dallas Cowboys. They haven't been in a Super Bowl in 25 plus years. And you're going to hate on the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of people say, oh, it's the fans. Oh, well, you're not a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, so why are you hating on the Dallas Cowboys? So a lot of people hate on The Rock. They're upset that he's back. He politicized his way back, supposedly, according to all these articles that have been coming out. And he forced his way back in to face Roman to have the match at WrestleMania. So he can get everybody's attention and build his ego and etc. Rock doesn't need to do that. The Rock makes millions, if not billions a year, owns his own football league, and makes movies about near every single month, and owns his own movie production. And now he's on the board of directors of WWE. The Rock came back on Friday and stirred the pot to get everyone to stop talking about Vince McMahon and the lawsuit, because it was giving it was shedding some bad rep on WWE. WWE, the company, is involved in the lawsuit, because they're suing Vince and WWE. But everyone's going to hate on The Rock. Everybody loved The Rock. When The Rock came back on Raw day one and he announced that promo with, or am I going to sit at the head of the table, everybody went nuts and everybody's wanting Rock versus Roman. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking Punk versus Rollins. Everybody's talking about Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. Everybody's talking about all these other matches. But guess what they weren't talking about? They weren't talking about this man right here, Cody Rhodes, and finishing the story. So what does Rock do? He comes back, and I stirring the pot. Now, is he taking the spot? Possibly. That's where it's leading to. That's where all these dirt sheet writers are saying. But no announcement officially has been made yet. More than likely, what we're seeing is going to be Cody versus Seth for the World Heavyweight title, and then Roman versus Rock for the WWE title. That's more than likely what we're going to be seeing. But we could also see something else something else happen. Tomorrow night, we're going to find out everything. We're going to find out who Cody's going to be facing. We're going to find out who The Rock's going to face. We're going to find out everything regarding WrestleMania, the main event, and both titles. Watch Peacock, watch the press conference, and then we'll see what the announcement's going to be. Me personally, what I would like to see, and it would be great for both fans, because I still want to see Rock versus Roman. I don't. I'm a big story guy, and I hate this because it intervenes with the story. But if we get Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, and then Cody and Seth at WrestleMania, those are two big main events right there. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to build the star power, bring in the star power for WrestleMania. Then you have Logan Paul coming in as well. He's probably going to be at WrestleMania himself. Pat McAfee. All these big mega stars that have fans outside of WWE. They're bringing them into WWE. Yeah, and making WWE bigger, making more money, getting more viewers, and getting everybody to look at wrestling and look at it from a different light and think, oh, wrestling's actually pretty cool. Because so many years, and they still do, people hate on wrestling because they say it's quote unquote fake. But yet they still watch their Marvel and DC movies, and that's okay. So this is bringing some new light to WWE. Again, hardcore fans just like myself with wrestling, and I love seeing story. I love seeing booking and everything that makes sense. But I see this from a business perspective of bringing The Rock in, and so that way you have Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania. You're bringing in the fans from the outside world of WWE. They're going to watch, oh, The Rock's in the match at WrestleMania. Let's watch it. He's back in wrestling again. And who knows, he might even possibly win the title. Who knows? If he does, great. I wouldn't mind seeing The Rock have another run. The last one I didn't like because he was in the middle of doing his movie, so he was hardly on Raw or SmackDown with the title. It was like seeing Brock Lesnar. It was like seeing Roman Reigns. And they're not even doing movies or anything. They were just rarely showing up. With The Rock, it was justifiable because he was actually doing movies at the time and he couldn't back out of them. Why did he feel the need to come back to wrestle and have the championship? He made a commitment to face John Cena, and he faced him twice. Once he made the commitment, especially if he signs the deal, he's got to fulfill those obligations. But so many people, they hate on, they're hating on The Rock, and they're saying all these negative comments when these exact same people loved him last week or 2 weeks ago. And now they're hating on The Rock. So now you got the press conference tomorrow. Let's watch it. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see who's going to face who. Let's see if it's Cody versus Seth and Rock versus Roman, or again, what I would like to see. And I didn't get. I would like to see Cody go on this, I guess, little depression, bitter, upset role these next couple months. He doesn't make a decision on who he wants to face, or he's basically saying, hey, I want the WWE title. And then they're saying, well, you can't because Rock wants it. And they play this out and they feed on this with the whole Rock and politics and all this crap they're stirring up with the Rock and his ego and whatever. Bring it into the story. And then we might get a triple threat match. I hope not. I would like to see one-on-one personally. I don't want to see triple threat. But let's see if they bring in this scenario. Cody, Monday Night Raw before Mania, goes out. These past few weeks, Seth Rollins been trolling him and poking at him, like, hey, you know you want to face me, you know you want this title, you know you're never going to get that match with Roman, so just go ahead and face it, select me, etc. Roman's been taken, and Cody still doesn't decide. And then the Monday Night Raw before Mania, he's out there again. He's trying to make a decision, and then he gets interrupted by Seth again, and then he hits the crossroads on him. And then he says, "Hey, watch Friday Night SmackDown. You'll know who I'm going to face." Then after that, we see on SmackDown Cody make his decision, and he chooses Roman Reigns. And he talked to Nick Aldis in the back. Nick Aldis made this match main event night 1 because he's a SmackDown general manager. And then Cody's going to face the winner of on night 2, either Rock or Roman, whoever he defeats on night 2 is still going to be big, and it's still going to make him elevate him and make him bigger. That's how I like to see this play out, because it'll fit the best of both worlds. And you say, well, what about Seth and the World Heavyweight title? He can have a triple threat match with Drew and Jay, or Drew and Sami Zayn, or just have a one-on-one with Drew, and then Drew gets his WrestleMania moment as well and win the World Heavyweight title. So, personally, I like to see Drew versus Seth, and then Drew win the World Heavyweight title, and then we can see The Rock versus Roman, and then night 2, Cody versus Rock or Roman, and then we can see everything play out and everything, and this will be a big WrestleMania, and then it will be the biggest. And then you can see Braun Breaker versus Gunther for the IC title, LA Knight versus Logan Paul for the United States title, Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship, and we already got EO versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. And then I would say we can see Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair team up, and they can go for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. And then they can either bring in, here's what they could do, either have one set of Tag Team Champions and then call it the WWE World WWE World Tag Team Champions. And they introduce the new tag team belts. And then you can have Judgment Day face off against either Imperium, or they can face off against DIY, or they can face off against AOP. Me personally, I like to see them face the Club, and Club get their shot and they get their tag team title win, and especially at WrestleMania in front of a big crowd, that'd be great. Or they can split the titles again, have the WWE Tag Team Champions, and then you have on the other brand the World Tag Team Champions. And then you can have Judgment Day on Raw face off against maybe New Day, Kofi, and Xavier Woods. Or you can have them face off against Imperium. Or you can have them face off against Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, and they win the tag team titles. Who knows? And then on the World Tag Team title side, for the other brand, which will probably be SmackDown, you can see AOP face off against the Club. You can see AOP face off against the Street Profits. And, you know, there are so many ways they can go with these tag team belts. But I can't wait for them to introduce new belts, because every other belt has a new design. Every other belt has been redone, but the men's tag team title belts. And they're still the red and blue Raw and SmackDown belts. And it's been like that for a while. I thought we was going to get introduction to the new belts last year when we saw the Usos go up against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but we didn't get that. It didn't happen. So I would like to see it happen this year at this WrestleMania, and then we have those scenarios play out. We can have Randy Orton go on one-on-one with Solo Sikoa and a no disqualification match or something, or maybe Randy Orton, AJ Styles for round 2 in a one-on-one match, or in a anywhere Falls Count Anywhere match. That'd be great. Maybe you can add them into a Hell in a Cell, put them in a Hell in a Cell match. That'd be great. Then we can have trying to think of who else we can. If Sami Zayn's not in a tag team match, maybe have Sami Zayn either included in the Triple Threat World Heavyweight title match, because you need to have Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. He's big. He's a big draw. A lot of fans, you got to have them. So let's see Sami Zayn put in there. Maybe he can get his WrestleMania moment and win the title. I would personally, again, like to see Drew McIntyre, but we can see Sami Zayn. All these matches to play out. We can, anything can happen leading up to WrestleMania. Again, this is just my opinion, my perspective, how I would probably want to book this. You can agree and disagree, but this whole big deal with The Rock and everybody hating on The Rock and talking negative about The Rock, it's just ridiculous. And then supposedly now his daughter is getting death threats. She's the NXT general manager. And why is she getting involved in this? It wasn't her fault. It's just ridiculous. The wrestling fans, they're just, a lot of wrestling fans are just, they can just be ridiculous when things don't go their way. They did the same thing with Daniel Bryan back in the day. They were doing the same thing with Sami Zayn with the whole bloodline, and then that Elimination Chamber last year. And then when he didn't win it, then they were doing the same thing with Cody last year. And then when he didn't win it, then they're like, okay, well, who's going to defeat Roman? And then when all the teases of The Rock was happening, then now the fans wanted it. Let's see Roman versus Rock. Rock defeat him. Let's have him win the title. Blah, blah, blah. And then you have Cody win the Rumble. Then we find out Punk is injured. And then everybody's back on Cody. And then The Rock shows up and and basically it's looking like he's facing Roman. And then everybody's turning on The Rock. We want Cody. We want Cody. Then who are you going to have Seth face at WrestleMania? You can have him face Drew McIntyre. That'd be good. That'd be great. But is that really main event? Is that a main event draw? Is that a top main event? Is that main event worthy? I mean, honestly, with the wrestling fans such as myself, yes, but you got to think of the WWE's mindset. They're thinking bigger. They want to draw outside fans and an outside crowd and draw them in to like the product. How are you going to do that with those two main events? That is why The Rock was brought in. Now, you can disagree. You can be mad. Drop your comments in the below. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button. Hit the notification button. And then drop your comments. This is an open, free debate. Drop your comments. I'm not going to care. I'm not going to care if you're going to disagree, but drop your comments below. I personally want The Rock. Rock versus Roman, Cody versus Seth. That's what I personally want. Or my other scenario, I would like to see Roman versus Rock night 1 of WrestleMania, and then night 2, Cody faces the winner. Those are the two ones I want. And then Seth and Drew can have their World Heavyweight title match. Adam Pearce going to Panic. And then he sets up a #1 contenders match on night 1. And then night 2, Rollins faces the winner between Drew and, let's say, Jey Uso, or Drew and Sammy. There you go. Drew and Sammy #1 contender spot. And then they face the World Heavyweight Champion night 2. So that's Rollins' co-main event with Cody versus The Rock and whoever. But it's more likely going to be Seth versus Cody. They're going to put on a great match. They're going to put on a great match that's probably going to outshine Roman versus Rock. And then Roman versus Rock is just going to be there for the star power. And then, oh my gosh, it's Roman versus Rock, cousin versus cousin. And then the fans will probably hijack that match, and they'll probably do Rocky sucks and all this stuff. And then we want Cody. But we'll see. Again, watch the press conference tomorrow at 7 o'clock on Peacock. And then we'll find out our answers tomorrow. Like this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel. And then again, drop your comments below. Hashtag we want Cody or hashtag we want Rocky. Which one do you want? I'll see you next time on the next episode. And also, feel free to discuss about Scott D'Amore and the TNA decision. What's your opinion of it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you worried about it? What do you want? Drop your hashtag with Cody and The Rock. Who do you want? Feel free to comment below. Love wrestling. Love wrestling. Remember to always love wrestling. See you next time.